Well, kia ora and welcome to the Harness Half Hour, proudly brought to you by Airpark Canterbury and HRNZ Marketing. I'm Jess Smith, and this week on the show we chat to Cam Hart, who is taking part in the Henley Formula Australasian Young Drivers Championship, making an amazing start to the competition with 3 wins from 3 heats. Lowe, part owner of Green Mile winner Heavyweight Hero, chats to us about their big win at Methven. And we interview colourful harness racing owner Peter Baken ahead of his 2 horses, AG's White Sox and Chase Auckland, starting in the InterDominion Pacing Final this weekend. But first, here are this week's harness headlines. Of course, the final fields are set for the 2019 IRT InterDominion Grand Finals to be held at Alexandra Park this coming Saturday. Ultimate Sniper is the pre-race $1.45 favourite for the final, with the New Zealand TAB, with Cruise Bromac a $6 second elect in the market. In the Trotters final, we see another dominant early favourite in Winterfell, who's at $1.90 with the bookies. Majestic Man has been installed the second favourite at $3.20, ahead of Markula at $5.50. For all of the latest on the InterDominions, follow HRNZ on Facebook and also check out the HRNZ website. Well, of course, the Australasian Young Drivers Championship well and truly underway, sponsored by Henley Formula, and the Australians have really made it their own competition in the early stages. Joining me on the podcast and at this stage of recording is our leader, Cam Hart. Cam, congratulations. Could you have dreamed of such a fantastic start to the tournament?
Yeah, thank you. No, not really. No, we've had a good run so far, but I was just hoping if I could get one to the series would be good, but to start off this way was a bit unexpected, but that's been really good.
Yeah, and of course they didn't give you the easiest test first up. With Sugarcane, the horse could be a wee bit temperamental, but how did it feel winning a race at Addington Raceway?
Yeah, great. Yeah, no, it's a lovely track, and a few of the Kiwis on the trip were saying that it can be a bit of a difficult horse at times, but she behaved herself well, and she was lucky enough to get a good trip, and she was too good for him up the lane.
Yeah, and really nice to have your family there too to share in that. I think they were just as excited as you were.
Yeah, Mum and Dad are over for the trip, and they were pretty excited. That was a big thrill. Okay, and of course you headed to Methven and picked up the second heat of the series as well. How was it having your first drive on the grass, Cam? Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was a really good experience. It was something different. Obviously in Oz we don't have the grass track, so that was really great, and I was lucky enough to draw a couple of nice horses, and they were able to get the job done. Yeah, I hope they've given you a free photo, because it would be quite a collector's item being on a turf track. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I'd like to drive on another one day, but no, it was a great experience, and it was a lovely track. Awesome. And of course you've got heats coming up at Manawatu, a couple of rounds there in Alexandra Park. Are you looking forward to those, Cam? Yeah, I am. I haven't had a chance to have a really good look at the Tuesday-Thursday meeting, but I think going up to Alexandra Park will be good as well, racing the reverse way, so that's something different as well, so looking forward to it. Awesome. And how's the trip going so far? Of course you've got a little bit of downtime, but are you making good friends with the group? Yeah, it's a great bunch of people, and we're all hanging out in our free time, and everyone's getting on good and having a really good time. Oh, that's great to hear. Well, we won't hold you up because I know you've got lots to get through. Cam, congratulations on an awesome start to the championship, and all the best for the remaining heats. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
And in social media news headlines, starting off with New Zealand, keep up to date on the latest news on the Henley Formula Australasian Young Drivers Championship with the HRNZ social media pages. You can see previews and results as they compete at Manawatu and Alexandra Park in the final heats. Also, all of the latest news, of course, on the InterDominion Grand Finals. From Australia, for the very latest news from Harness Racing Victoria, be sure to follow them on Facebook. Their page features regular news items, interviews and race replays, so check them out. And from the USA, America's #1 driver this year, Tim Tetrick, is embarking on a unique journey to drive in races in Finland this week. If you want to keep up to date on his journey, make sure you follow Tetrick Racing on Facebook. Well, of course, on the beautiful grass track surface at Mount Harding Racecourse, Methven, on Sunday we had 2 editions of the Green Mile, and the trotters went to Heavyweight Hero. Joining me now is part owner of Heavyweight Hero and Aaron Lowe. Aaron, congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Jess.
Now, were you expecting, I note the horse has only recently come down south, were you expecting that kind of performance first up in the south?
He's been in work quite a while, and he had a trial probably a fortnight before, and I think he's been down with Bob maybe just under 2 weeks now, but we're hoping for a good performance. We weren't actually sure when he was going to run. It just obviously depended how he travelled down, but obviously we were expecting a good performance, but perhaps not one as good as that.
Yeah, exactly. And was there any particular reason why you decided to send him down south, Aaron?
Yes, Todd and his team had been working with the horse for quite a while now, and we had difficulties getting him to go the right-handed way around. So every time we worked him left-handed, he was twice as good as he was going right-handed. So eventually we had to make the decision whether we start at the InterDominions and go right-handed, maybe not travel as good. And so we made the call on the Friday when the second noms are due to decide to go down south for the benefit of the horse.
Yeah, and it's been a great result, hasn't it? Because he was phenomenal as a 3-year-old with 3 wins, and he's still only lightly raced with 21 starts, but 6 wins overall. So only being a 6-year-old, the future's looking pretty promising if everything stays this way.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to what's coming up, but just sort of take it race by race at this stage.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit, Aaron, about the group of owners? Because I know that you do a lot of work with Todd McFarlane and promoting ownership and around the ownership side of things, but there's quite a list of owners involved with this horse.
Okay, how we got the list of owners when we purchased the horse off Murray Edmonds, probably towards the end of his 2-year-old career. I got a group of my close friends that I've probably had for 10 to 15 years and called them the Banana Syndicate. I've got a few in Auckland, and then a couple that are based in Sydney, and a couple that are based in Hong Kong, but they're all from New Zealand. So that's what I call the Banana Syndicate. And then I've got myself and my wife Linda, Todd's parents Neville and Lois, and Todd and Shannon McFarlane. So that's our core ownership group.
That's amazing. And I know, as I say, you've been doing a lot of work with Todd around the ownership side of things, and it seems to be, really working well as a formula between the two of you.
Yeah, it's been going good. We've had what I set up as the Only Live Once Syndicate. So we've had 3 lots of those. So we've had 3 horses each year. And at the moment, we've got one 3-year-old still to go to the races, but we've had 100% to the races.
That's great.
Most of the horses that have been there, or actually all of them so far, have won at least a race. And obviously we've moved a few on as economics prevail, and then move on to the next one. And we are currently syndicating a yearling now on a fixed price, and it basically covers up to the end of its 2-year-old career. So there's a one-off fee, and then we work out at the end of the 2-year-old career how much we've banked and what it'll cost ongoing. So
that's awesome.
If anyone's interested, they can get in touch with myself or Todd.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, if anyone is keen, Aaron, what's the best way to find out more? Is there a Facebook, website, phone number? What's the best way?
We do have a Facebook page, or else they can call myself on 021 817 001, or get hold of Todd and his details on the website there.
Perfect. And I'd imagine leading into yearling sales too, Aaron, that's going to be a prime time for people, maybe if they're wanting to get involved ahead of the sales or see what you guys purchase.
Yep, there'll be an opportunity there. So we haven't quite worked out what we're doing yet, so we've still got a couple of months
time.
Aside. But we've already got this yearling in place that we've already broken in, so we're trying to get in a bit earlier, if you know what I mean.
So, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And in terms of your ownership journey, Aaron, when did you first start getting involved in the harness game?
Basically, when I was younger, brought up in Pukekohe, we had a few neighbours who were horse trainers. My dad had owned horses since probably the 1980s, so I developed an interest on that, obviously listening to races, going to the races. And then when I was at university, I got more into watching them and going to trials, etc. And then I think around that time when I left university, Dave McGowan put me in touch with Todd, and I won a pick 6 when I was at university, and I used all that money to buy Cyclone Vance, a broodmare, and another yelling at the time, called Scott Dixon, who went on to be a handy type of pacer.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
Yeah, and then since then, obviously, I've bred quite a few trotters out of Cyclone Vance, and they've gone all right, and still breeding from her, so she's in foal this season to Father Patrick. It'll probably be her last foal now. She's 20 years old, I think it is.
Yeah. Oh, what an amazing story, and, you know, just the luck that you were able to strike that pick 6. Did you have an affinity with trotters in particular, or was that just the way it worked out, Aaron?
No, actually, I never really liked trotters. I was always into pacers, so Cyclone Vance was actually a pacer.
Oh, right.
And when I was in London, she had a couple of starts as a pacer, and went out red hot favourite one day at Cambridge, and one of Peter Wolford's horses beat us because we went mad in front and got attacked, and they came off our back. And then I was a little bit upset about that, and then Todd rang me up while I was working up in London and said she doesn't pace anymore, but I'll use her as a galloping pacemaker, and she trots beautiful. And then, you know, to cut a long story short, she became a trotter, won probably about 6, and then went on to be quite a good broodmare for us.
Oh man, it just goes to show when you look at the likes of Lyle Creek, you know, you can't force a horse. If it's going to naturally do something, you might as well roll with the punches.
Oh, that's right, and, you know, obviously Todd saw something in it, and he turned it into a bit of magic, really, for us.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Well, that association with Todd, as you say, has gone back a long way. What would you say, Aaron, would be some of the biggest highlights you've had with your association with him?
I probably think, you know, just being able to breed our own and getting wins out of them. And then obviously being able to involve new people into racing, including friends and people I've never met before, also into different ownership packages.
Yeah.
And then obviously just seeing how things have developed over time, and obviously over the last probably 15 years, racing's really changed, like the quality of the athletes and what you have to do to remain competitive. Oh, exactly. And I've really enjoyed the journey. Yeah, obviously, like anything with racing, there's been ups and downs, and sometimes you're in the money and sometimes you aren't, and searching for answers. So that's all part of the game and fun, I guess. Yeah,
exactly. That's why we love it so much. It keeps us guessing. Hey, Aaron, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations again. It's awesome to see heavyweight hero back in winning form. And
oh, no. Yeah, we're all very happy. And I'll just take a quick second just to mention Todd Staff, who got the horse up to where he was. So we've got Ian Hilliard, who's our foreman, and then Ali Rowd and Clint McKay, who works for Todd. And then thanks to Shoeing Steve Butler and the vet helped by Catherine Pemberton. And now it's all over to Bob Butt, so no pressure on him.
Exactly right. I'm sure he'll be feeling the pressure now after they're 1 from 1. Aaron, congratulations. It's an awesome story, and keep up the amazing work you're doing with ownership. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks, Jess.
Hi, Razor here from Canterbury Rugby. When you need airport parking, choose a team that's on the ball. Meet at Airpark Canterbury and get their free Mercedes shuttle to drop you right off at the terminal. Airpark Canterbury have the cheapest 24/7 airport parking, and you'll never get left on the sidelines. Give Airpark Canterbury a try. airparkcanterbury.co.nz.
There's always a park for me at Airpark Canterbury.
One of the most colourful owners in harness racing, of course, Peter Baken. We've had him on the podcast before, but Peter, we've got to say congratulations, of course, not only AG's White Sox in the ownership in the InterDominion final, but Chase Auckland as well. You must be absolutely thrilled.
Well, it's when you go into these things, Jess, you don't realise what's in front of you, and we didn't expect a lot from AG's because, you know, he's been really crook, but, you know, Greg did have him all sorted at 5 to 11 Friday. He rang me up before they started, and we had 5 minutes to pay the last payment, and he said, I've finally sorted him out. He was scouring out badly, and I said, no. He said, I've taken the grain out of his feet, and I'm very happy, so we're going to go.
Yeah.
I said, well, get off the phone, mate, because you've got 4 minutes to pay it, so which he did do. And, of course, Chase has been really super. He's had 3 nice draws, but he's been super, hitting the line well, and yeah, so we've got 2 in the final.
Yeah, and it's really contrasting ownership experiences for you, isn't it? Being involved in a syndicate of about 50 people, and then the slightly smaller ownership circle around AG's White Sox.
Well, that's very true. You know, as you say, with a big syndicate, and we've met some really special friends through it, which is, really important. And with the other one, most of us have got 10%, and we're just having a lot of fun, and it's hard to put into words, really.
Yeah, it would be, and I guess it would be very hard to pick one over the other or follow them both at the same time. But I guess, Chase has already won a Group 1 this year, so it'll be nice for Richie, AG's White Sox, to do the same.
Yeah. Well, it would be, and it would be great for Greg and Nina too. I mean, they work so hard, and in fact, this is the first horse they've even had in the InterDominion. So Greg told me the other day, which I didn't realise. So to win 2 heats, and as I say, he was very generous with Barry and said, no, put it in your name. And Barry worked him on the Wednesday and said, no, I want it in your name. Greg said, no, we'll leave it that way, thanks. And it's lovely because Greg and Nina are going to be up there on Saturday, so it'll be a great night regardless of the outcome, really.
Yeah, exactly. And as an owner, Peter, you've been very supportive of a multitude of different trainers. You like to support the industry.
Well, that's true, and there's a lot of young ones starting, like young Jack and Dave and Stacey White, people like that. And you can see, young Carl who's come over from Australia, which is Dave's cousin. Well, he just drives like Dexter, really, doesn't he? 3 out of 3.
Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal job in the Australasian young drivers. Peter, silly question, but will you be there on the night? Are you all set for the occasion?
Do you think I should go, Jess? I'll be there. It won't start till we get there.
Yeah, so,
I'm
exactly.
really looking forward to it, and it'll be great.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it wouldn't be a feature race meeting without you there in your perfectly dressed outfit. Do you still get nervous before those big races?
Yes, I don't now. I mean, I'm all good now. I mean, the draw came out the other day, and I thought, that makes it harder, but that's okay. It's only a bad draw after the race, isn't it? Not before it. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll just see what happens. But when they line up, you get a bit toey. Yeah. But after that, it's all good.
And how's it been for you experiencing the series at Alexandra Park? A good opportunity to get up to Auckland?
Yeah, it is. It's been great. I mean, and they've really looked after us. I rang up Karen Blanchard and she organised a table for me, and it was really, great. She's doing the same for this week. Got 16 going, so and it's nice to know you can go out there and relax and enjoy it. And the racing's been sensational, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been really good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know you're a busy man. You've got outfits to organise, and I know that it's coming up to a busy time with the yelling sales and all that kind of jazz, so we won't probe you about which horses you're going to get into next, but congratulations, you really do deserve the success, and good luck to both of the camps with AG's White Sox and Chase Auckland.
Thanks, Jess. Appreciate it.
At Air Park Canterbury, they've got no fancy gimmicks, just the best deal on airport car parking every day. In fact, bring Air Park any comparative offer and they'll match or beat it. Forget the gimmicks, get the best price guaranteed. Call 0800 Air Park for the cheapest 24/7 airport parking in Christchurch.
There's always a park for me at Air Park Canterbury.
Well, of course, it's that time of the podcast where we catch up with Richard Wilson from the Bookies Desk in Petone. Richard, looking at the week that was, and we don't often talk about Tuesday meetings being features, of course, outside of Cup Day, but that was the case last Tuesday at Auckland.
Yeah, certainly, and a night meeting, Tuesday night meeting, something different. There's not very, very many of those. And it was the sprint heat, 1,700 metre heat of the InterDoms, of course. And there was very strong support there for one of the Aussies, Colt 31, in the first of them. He opened at $10, closed at $6.50. There was 1,400 on at $7.50, 1,250 at $6.50 being the largest bets there, but he's very well backed. But unfortunately had a tough run and didn't really go very good. The other one that was very well backed was a trotter in the next race, Majestic Man. 970 on at the 270, 1,500 and $1,000 bet at 250, and then 2,700 at the 240, and he didn't let those punters down. Very good win there. Some decent bets on Winterfell in that race missed. $1,000, $2,000 and $3,000 bets at 220, 1,200 at 210, and $1,000 late on there at 225 as he drifted as the money came pretty hard for Majestic Man. Another big run from Ultimate Sniper, race 7, Not a bad result for us in the end, though. $1,000 on at $2.50, the biggest bet there. Meanwhile, Bling It On was very well backed. 1,650 at 650, 1,750 at 6, 1,000 at 480 being the tip of the iceberg there. And in the last heat, not a lot of difference between Marcoola and Temporale in the eyes of the punters. 1,800 at 360 and 1,000 at 340 on Temporale got paid, while a couple of $1,000 bets on Marcoola at 180 missed out.
Yeah, of course, that was the second round of heats, as Richard mentioned, on the Tuesday. So Thursday night, we headed off to Cambridge. Were the punters active there?
Yeah, they had the better of us there on Thursday too. The best bet, 2,000 on Cruisy Mac at $2.50. Other useful returns came from $1,000 on Golden Quest at 190. There was 1,000 on the Lone Ranger at 330, and the longest price winner for a while there, Lucky Nova. Very bad result for us. A couple of $30 bets at 81, but I think it opened at 151. So we already brought it in. A couple of $30 bets there, and there was a whole heap of smaller bets, $5, $10 bets on Lucky Nova. So pretty much a disaster for us there. The roughie. And not much going our way, but one thing that did go our way, Double or Nothing, well backed in race 6. A couple of $600 bets at 350, 1,000 at 340, and that just saved the night from being a complete disaster.
Okay, then. What about Friday night at Auckland? Of course, that was in the final round of the InterDominion Grand Series heats.
Yeah, well, the main thing to note there was a very big move in the first race on the night, and it came off too with Some Do completing a hat-trick there. $125 on at 9, 180 at 8, 1,000 at 7, $200 bets at both 6 and 550. They were the best bets, but there was a whole heap more on her, and bobbled away from the standing start, gave us quite a bit of hope, it appeared, but then mid-race speed duel, and she was sitting pretty in the 1-1, really set it up for her, and she won it very well. Steps up to a Group 1 this week, so that'll be very interesting. There was $1,000 and $10,000 bets on Ultimate Sniper, kept his winning march going at $1.40 in race 6 there. There was $1,000 and $2,000 bets on Marcoola in race 7, and meanwhile $300 and $500 bets on Temporale at $4.20 got the better there. The expected two-horse war did eventuate in the last pacing heat. Cruise Bromac got the win there. Bets of $900 at $2.80, $2,000 bets at $2.70, and a few $400 and $500 bets there at the $2.60. Meanwhile, $5,000 at $2.50, $1,500 at $2.40, $4,000 and $7,000 bets at $2.10, and another $1,000 at $2. Chased him home there on the fixer. Winterfell dominated the final Trotters heat. There was 8.5, $3,000, $1,200 and $1,000 bets, all at $2 getting home there. A couple of $1,000 bets and $800 at $2.50, two $500 bets at $2.60, all on Majestic Man, helped us pay for the Winterfell bets.
Okay, and of course on Friday night, way down the road Dunedin, we had Forbury, a bit quieter there, I'd imagine.
Yeah, very much so. Punters very much focused on Auckland. The best bet there, $400 on Wolfenstein at 5. There was $500 on Short and Sweet at $2.30, that got home as well. $500 on Jive at $3.80, missed out, as did $500 on Diane Lorena at $2.20 to run top 3. They were the biggest bets there at Forbury.
Okay, Saturday Invercargill, gee, it was a busy week. What about that meeting?
Yeah, another long shot winner here, and again race 1, Dream of Pat, 100 each way at 81 and 15, proved to be a very good bet there. 5 other $20 or $25 bets at the 81 cashed in as well, so another disaster for us there with a roughie. Other useful bets on the day, $1,000 on Major Watson at 160, a couple of $1,000 bets on Lawrence at 160, $300 on Howard to Ransom at 14. There were $2,000 bets on Only One Way at 260, $1,000 on Revitalise at 260, and $1,000 on Kilowatt Kid at 240. So those sort of shorter ones there getting home. A few bets going our way there, $2,000 on Seeky Monkey at 230, $1,500 on Better Galleon at 7, $1,000 It's Summertime at 7, $3,000 Major Meister at 4, and a couple of $2,000 bets on the Mighty Cullen at 260.
Okay, and of course Saturday it was a busy meeting at Addington given all the festivities on course. What about the books?
There was a very good plunge, got home race 2, the last one. A winning debut there, $1,200 at 350, $1,700 at 310, 3,500 at 280, 2,000 at 260, 1,000 and 2,000 at 250, the biggest bets there. And very good win there. Worked up park, took the lead, and never in any danger. There was 4,000 on Globe Trekker at 3. That was the best return on the night. A few bets missed. 3,000 on Musculature Metro at 480. 3,000 on Can I Be Me at 4. And the biggest misses of the night were on One Over the Sun, 6,000 at 280, 2,000 and 3,000 at 260.
Okay, not over yet, of course, because then we had Sunday, which did, of course, include a couple of heats of the Australasian Young Drivers and the Green Mile events for the Pacers and Trotters.
Yeah, and there was another big push here for Heavyweight Hero, first up for a new stable. Opened at 270, closed 220, so that's generally a sign that things haven't gone well for us. And he was a very bad result. 4,000 at 270, 7,000 at 250, 3,000 at 230, 1,200 at 220. They were the biggest bets. There was plenty more in behind him, over $200 bets on him. Other good collects came from 1,000 on Glenelgan Thompson at 480, 1,000 on Beau Major at 360. There was 200 on Already Gone at 12 as well. A couple of dodge bullets there for us. 1,000 on Gilligan's Island at 650, 2,000 on Nandolo at 370, and a couple of $1,000 bets on Heisenberg at 320.
Okay, multi of the week for us. What have you found?
It was a good one at Alex Park on Friday, $1,000 multi. Ultimate Sniper, $1.40 into Cruise Bramac at 270 and ending on Winterfell at 2. So that 1,000 turned into 7,560.
Okay, and cash out options of the week. We always like looking at these.
Yeah, there wasn't too many good cash outs, but there wasn't too many bad ones or any sort of cash outs at all, really. But I did find a bad one. $100 two-leg multi at Alex Park on Tuesday. Full of Hope to run top 3 at 290. Into Fabrizio to run top 3 at 220. He managed to get second. That would have returned 638, but for some reason the nerves kicked in, cashed out for 221.
Okay, and as we mentioned, it's a crazy time of year with all the festive racing and, of course, feature racing. Busy week for you and the team too?
Yeah, 8 meetings last week. I think there's 7 this week. Manawatu today. Some more Australasian Young Drivers heats. And Thursday as well. And then Auckland, the first young gun 2-year-old heat on Friday, along with Addington. Then the big night, Saturday night, Auckland InterDom finals, also the Ladyship Stakes Group 1 and the Queen of Hearts Group 1. And then Sunday we've got Akaroa, the Akaroa Cup goes round, and also Winton, the home track there, trialling something a wee bit different there, 10-horse fields and 7 horses off the front. So that'll be interesting there on Sunday.
Oh, it sounds just busy enough, Richard. Thank you so much for your time. I know you've got to head off and get ready for that Manawatu meeting this afternoon. As always, really appreciate your time and good luck to you and the team.
Yeah, not a problem, Jess. Is it too early or can we say Merry Christmas?
You can say Merry Christmas now. Everyone's doing it.
Exactly.
Good on you, Richard. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, Jess.
And coming up, harness racing-wise this week around New Zealand. Tuesday we see Manawatu Day 1 of their meeting this week, which does include heats of the Australasian Young Drivers Championship. Thursday is Day 2 at Manawatu, of course with further heats as well for the champs. On Friday, Alexandra Park, which will feature the final heat for the Australasian Young Drivers Championship, and also Addington Raceway in Christchurch. And on Saturday night, it's InterDominion Grand Final night thanks to IRT at Alexandra Park. And on Sunday, we head to Winton and Akaroa for their meetings. And that's it for this week's Harness Half Hour, thanks to Airpark Canterbury and HRNZ Marketing. Don't forget the podcast is available via the HRNZ website, our Facebook page. You can find us on the Punters Lounge at tab.co.nz, also on Spotify and iTunes.